Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to be going through a comedy exercise to take any idea, any word, and pull premise from it. Premise is taking the raw material and starting to give a hook that we can heighten into jokes, games, conversation with the audience, whatever you will have. So today, classic from the long form world, pattern game is what we are learning. So how does the pattern game work? Well, boom. You first start with any word at all. I'm about to do a set about suits, so you start with, hey, suits, and you just free associate. What does suits make you think of? Well, suits makes me think of fancy jobs. Okay, now we're at fancy jobs. What do fancy jobs make me think of? Let me extend this out. Boink. Fancy jobs make me think of, really fancy, as far as fancy in a sense that is more whimsical, jobs. Okay, now I'm starting to heighten an idea. I've grown that out, and now I can maybe label what a fancy job might be. Polishing the gold on top of the queen chandelier, a fancy job. Okay, great. Polishing gold. Polishing queen's chandelier gold. Okay, now we have the fanciest gold. We've accelerated, we've played out this idea. Now you free associate again. Let me take my webcam source. Boom, boom. Okay, great. Where do we go from here? Okay, polishing queen's gold. We may think of crown jewels. Okay, we have crown jewels. From there, we might free associate crown jewels. Are there other things with jewels? Well, there are family jewels. Oh, okay, great. Family jewels mean we know what that means. I don't gotta say it. We know, or we know, or we don't know. We know or we don't know. Family, you know, we know, I know, you know. We can play a no game here. And then, of course, after that, we try to make if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you might be naked. And then naked makes me think of suits. And then we are right back around to suits, having established two premises: both the game of polishing queens, chandelier gold, and this, we know, family jewels. Hey, we know, hey, we all know, we know what we're talking about. So I've gone one rung around the pattern game. Ideally, you go around the pattern game a few times, and you can pull premise from this idea suits, which we're going to continue to do. If we are keeping track of premises, we have fancy jobs. We have fancy jobs as one premise. Right out the get-go. 1 second, let me pull this up. We have fancy jobs. We have, hey, you know, specifically with family jewels, as far as premises that we've pulled. Okay, let's do a second rung of the pattern game. Okay, suits. Once again, suits makes me think of the TV show. Okay, it's funny that the TV shows with one-word titles is sort of an idea, is sort of a premise that we can establish from suits. So, what are other funny one-word title TV shows that could exist as far as a premise? Going back to what we were just talking about, balls! We don't want to rely on the sexual, so there could be other one-word titles. Taxi! Exciting! I'd watch that show. Exciting? I'd watch Exciting. Boring. That's what most shows should be called. So we can play this game of what is the best one-word title that a TV show could be called. We play that game out, and then we free associate again. So we could go to programming. Okay, we have the word programming. Programming then makes me think of, computers, suits, swimsuits, lawsuits. Exactly, as far as other ways that we could free associate away from suits. Nerds. Computers. Nerds. Okay, that's a big thing, to assume all computer people are nerds, and so then we can play with that premise with maybe a line of, hey, just because I play with computers doesn't mean I'm a nerd. The fact that I do Dungeons and Dragons That's why I'm a nerd. But computers, completely unrelated. Nerd dialogue. We could speak out who this character is that is trying to defend themselves from being a computer nerd. Nerds, of course, have tacky clothing. And then we free associate tacky clothing, tacky clothing, tacky clothing, and then hey look, we get back to suits with two new premises. The new premises, of course, being one-word TV shows, and of course a nerd defending nerddom, defending nerddom, right? Great. So we're slowly pulling suit soaking fetish. Nerds make a lot of money at their fancy jobs where they wear suits. Yeah, if we wanted to bring it all together, as far as if this was improv, that would be something we would maybe do in a third beat where these nerds get the one thing. Suit soaking fetish. It's a thing. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't get the future YouTube video flagged. Nerddom. Oh, Twatson. As far as just a pun to put in there when we pay off the idea of nerddom, I do like the pun. I want to keep it in play of somewhere to have nerddom. Yes. Okay, let's do one more rung of the pattern game to play it. And the thing to know about the pattern game is when people start with it, early improvisers or early comedians, it usually takes them a while to get to a premise. So it would be like suit, clothing, winter coat, then winter coats to it's too much. And then too much into, oh God, 1,000 shirts. So it'll take us a few things till we get to somewhere where we can exaggerate. If we are really playing the spirit of the game, ideally we say these words and we put some personality behind them. Suit, clothing. By having clothing with clothing and be like, oh, well, you want some lingerie? Now I don't only have logical things to attack, but I have a real person, an angle to take underneath it. So ideally, we only really need one swing of the pattern game before we can pay off. For example, if we say suit and suit, flirting with clothes. We're already there. I have this suit, and you have those duress, and I also have these smelly undies. Ooh, because I have a sort of way that I said it, which is an intrinsic comedy angle, how I said what I said, it allows us to get to premises faster. So if you want to up your speed in the pattern game with regards to getting to premises faster, make sure we add some spin to all of these so it is not bland. Suits make me think of course, weddings. Okay, calm down, brother. Great, we already have an idea here of someone who is too excited for weddings, right? We already one rung in. Hey, Ray, welcome. We already, this is the scoreboard for those watching. We already have with one shoot of the go, flirting with weddings. Too excited for weddings. Too excited for weddings. Oh, ooh, you going to the wedding? The wedding in July? The wedding of your cousin? Like, calm down. Some people are like that. And since I'm probably going to be doing a set about wanting to get married, very easy for me to add that. Too excited about weddings. Great. We have a premise already from the pattern game. Let's continue on. Too excited for weddings makes me think of the bouquet toss. The bouquet toss. The bouquet toss. There could be other events at this wedding. The bouquet toss. The groomsmen. The groomsmen pickup. The mother-in-law stall. There's all sorts of. We could be playing the Olympic Games of weddings. Okay, great. as far as another premise that we've established. And I'll be showing how to pay off these premises in multiple ways. The Olympics of weddings. Great. Marvelous. Now after we have the we have the Olympics of weddings, that makes me think of sports. I'm a theater kid. Sports. So we have sports, but I said sports like womp. So like theater kids, things theater kids don't like. Things theater kids don't like. Sports, silence, not having attention, right? So that's the premise. Theater kids also wear costumes, and then costumes, guess what? Gets us right on back to suits. So we've done 3 rungs of the pattern game, and we've come up with things theater kids don't like. We have a bunch of premises. So now it comes to the part of paying off these premises. One thing I'll say about the pattern game, if you are playing it, ideally you make sure you go different routes from the integral word up top. So in this case, we let me make sure I didn't forget chat box. If chat is saying clever things, the poor K toss. Why did he do it? Jock shaking ass on. Oh wait. Let me make sure I adequately get all the beautiful things from Twitch chat. I do like this game, Rafa, of nerddom. Dumb. That could be a very fun when we are paying off premises. Remind me of this when we get there. When we're trying to pay off premises in one of these 4 ways, that's a great audience way to pay it off. Dumb, dumb, jock. That is a audience play way to play with that. And we also play nerd and dumb. We can also bring ourselves into it with the real moment. Like a game, is it nerd or is it dumb? Yes, exactly. That is a great way to make it real in the room, this sort of intellectual premise. So it's sort of playing in the real world instead of making the audience think about archetypes or being performative and do an act out that's in another time and place. As far as if we're going to go, this is my 4 heightening methods. This is unique to what I teach in stand-up. I'm going to run to the kitchen real quick. Y'all want anything? yeah. Give me one of everything, Rafa. Okay, let me get back to the okay, the lesson. So when you're doing the pattern game, it is important that we spin off in different directions. So we had suits, then we were talking about jobs. We had suits, then we were talking about TV. We had suits, and then we were talking about weddings. You don't want to re-cannibalize the apple with each rung of the pattern game because we're trying to extend out how many different ways we can talk about this one thing. So if you feel like you're doing the pattern game and you might end up on the same premises and the same ideas, you might want to practice going further away with that first iteration, that first object that you're associating with the main object. So tricks and tips, add that personality. Weddings, so that we have more angles to attack the next logical association, and make sure we spread things out. So we have a bunch of premises. We have premises which are promises to the audience that we want to pay off, and we can pay them off in we can pay them off in multiple ways. In my opinion, the way I look to pay off jokes is in one of these 4 ways. Let me pull this down, and we will attack all of these premises in the way that I mean. Okay. So you have logical, which is when we're just thinking about ideas. We're playing word games. We're dealing with truth from life. Everyone is sort of in their heads, metaphysically. There's an act out where we take that idea, we show a manifestation of it, so the audience goes, oh, I did think it would look like that, or I didn't think it would look like that, but I see how William thought it would look like that. You can play with the audience. We're commenting on their user experience right here and now, or you can have a personal confession where you say, hey, talking about this in front of you guys makes me feel X, Y, Z. So all of these jokes can be paid off in all of these ways. First, we have the premise of fancy jobs. So we have fancy jobs. The premise is fancy jobs. We could go logical, which is how we sort of paid it off before. Like, what is the fanciest job? Well, polishing gold for the queen's chandelier. I'm just saying fancy things. Are we actually in a time and place? Are we manifesting something specific? Not exactly, but we're paying off how fancy. How might that manifest? I can take that same idea and play it out with an act out. Oh, what do I do for a living? I've got the fanciest job. I polish the queen's gold. So not only am I heightening logically inside the act out, but I'm also giving a character that it can also... I'm fancy me with my fancy job. Monocle, paid in gold bullion. So I still am attacking things logically, but I'm doing it more through the filter of a character. Wedding photographer is a fancy job. Honestly, Jel, if we wanted to connect it to the other premises, if we knew we were talking about weddings later and we wanted to prime the audience, that's a great way to front right to right now and prime the audience for things we might be talking about later. Hey, I do like caviar butler. Caviar butler in the Maldives. A fancy job indeed. Hey, Nixter. Hey, Toothless Dan. Welcome to the stream. We are paying off premises. Okay, so we have now paid off this premise of fancy jobs. We've done it logical. We've done it act out. We can also play with the audience. I got a fancy job. This man in a suit. I bet you are a caviar butler. Yes, you are. So we can still use some of the same ideas, but how we are directing it, like, This man works in gold, investment banker gold, dealing with currency, fancy job. So the audience goes, oh, something real in the room. We do experience this person's situation, etc. Butler, more like buttless. Look at my butt. That's not fancy. Or we can do fancy, like fancy job. The fanciest job I ever had was dressing like the owner of a bowling alley. You're saying not that fancy. I'm a slum guy. As far as doing a personal confession for this same idea. Yeah, nothing fancier than fancy feast. That's sort of playing with the logical in that they share this idea of fancy and fancy. So we're using that connection to attack something with archetypes. With they share something logically. We're not really in a time and place. We're not commenting on the audience's experience, and we don't really have personal emotion into it. So that's a great logical way that we can pay out fancy jobs, fancy associations. Full circle, boom. Okay. You guys are really liking the pattern game. So those are paying off 4 different ways we can pay off just fancy jobs. And ideally we try to find actionable heightening. In the act out, I had the fancy. I'm gonna drink coffee, do a fancy act. Monocle. We can even you have a fancy job. Yes, sir. We could let that act out, those behaviors, bleed into any of the other fancy payoffs. So our behavior is getting fancier, even if we don't do the act out. So we've benefited by heightening in this direction, even if we choose another attack for the joke. Exactly. Pinky out. That's not the only thing out. My hemorrhoids are so fancy. Fancy job I had was security for the NFL. Boy, they hired the wrong guy. I was the one taking unsolicited photos of pictures. Yeah, I mean, I like that as far as like a character study in the person who's confessing that. So that is sort of like that's like a confession and a logical, and it's like taking things people know about the NFL that they take unsolicited pictures, but then putting it on the character that is us and sort of letting the audience maybe make more assumptions about who we really are. It's a little wordy. Monocle Lewinsky. Oh boy. You know what? That might... One second, Twatson. Because it is so punchy and fancy, and, she was given jobs, that might be... where's the joke of the week? Please tell me I got a joke of the week. Joke of the week. Where's the joke? Just because it's so self-contained and compact. Yep. The Pringles man's the fanciest mascot. Yep. Okay, so we have paid off the first premise now. We have one premise. We have a whole bunch of payoffs for that premise. We can go into the second game that we were playing, the premise of Family Jewels. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Don't make me say it, but Family Jewels. The old tick and tack. The old skin flute. The old blah 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 blah. So it's sort of logical, and it could just be a list of different names for, well, we could play with the audience. He does not know. She does not know. But you, sir, you look like you grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. You know some names for genitals. So we can lean into the audience of labeling who wouldn't know all these salacious things we're talking about. We could go personal with regards to royal proctologist, MD. Alexis, I would hope he would be an MD. If the royal proctologist isn't a doctor, it isn't officially an MD, then what are we doing here? The scoliosis twins, as far as a name for genitals, where are we? Lewinsky's job pays under the table. Oh boy. Oh, okay. That's a fun. Oh boy. Okay. You know what? Joke of the night. I'm even gonna add that as far as where's the current. Here's the joke of the night. Let me pull this up. Joke of the night, and then tag, add a tag. PJ with job pays under the table. Great. That might be it. Or maybe he just dabbles in proctology. Still fancy. Okay, yeah. So we are now paying off the second premise of I don't want to say Family Jewels. You know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about I'm talking about the old ball and tackle. I'm talking about all the Willy Walker. I'm talking about the twig and berries. Austin Powers is a great way of not only playing this out logically in that they say a bunch of words for the space shuttle that looks like a but they also show it out, they manifest it for us, and they have these people's reactions when they're like, oh my god, it looks like a giant. Whoa, wow, it looks like a giant. So we're getting some sort of like real world character. It's a movie, so we're not in the room with them, but we get a physical manifestation of it, we get a logical game, and we get some character behind all of those words. But if I was going to play this out, you could say, the Family Jewels, the ball and twigs, the giant thing that I am packing as a way to continue with the logical, but make it feel like I also have skin in the game. It's a very loose, stretchy skin sometimes. As far as I'm continuing with the logical, but also bridging it with the personal. You can do an act out like, come on, Come on, this guy knows. I mean, we're in a strip club. You know, we see things, and we know, and you see things. So you give the context of where would we know. If you've ever been in a gym, oh my God, there's so many Family Jewels. You could call this the family jewelry, or you could call this a gemstone mine, whatever, as ways to give context to it that might allow us to play with it a little bit more. Or we could, once again, go into an audience play about, like, these salacious things. But you don't know these salacious things. As other things to do with this premise, to attack it in multiple ways. And as far as, like, if we want to add physical heightening, like, we know what I'm talking about, the old. So instead of it just being logic, he'll be like, we know. Hey, and I know, and I know, and you know, and I know. As far as if all of these things can have physical manifestation, so we get a more visceral attack of the idea instead of it just being a logical exercise. That's premise number 2. Let's attack another premise of one-word TV shows, right? So one-word TV show leans itself to a logical payoff. One-word TV shows: Suits, Skins, Skinless, Family Jewels, Naked. We could go and we could do a callback. We could just, like, what is the weird, and, I, the, but. No, these are not good one-word TV shows. Tom, we're at the one-word TV show factory. We got to come up with more. We could give it context and have someone be good at the job or bad at the job, if we want to attack it in that way. Or we could even give the pitch to the TV shows these days. Too many words. Doesn't stay in the mind. One word, kid. That's all you need. One word, and skins. Anytime someone's talking about skins, they think of our TV show. Suits. You get a new suit, man, and then suddenly you're watching a bunch of lawyers on USA, etc., etc. As far as we can have someone positing the logic of why these one-word TV shows exist. You can play with the audience. Like, okay, if this was going to be a one-word TV show, it'd be called Laughs. Grumpy. Oh, I got you. Date. First date. Good date. Okay, if I had to do 2 words, we could comment on the audience as if the TV show was them and their life. Or one-word TV shows. Optimistic. And then the sequel, sad. I could do a personal confession, all with the same premise. So it's the same premise, it's different ways to attack it. They're all brothers and sisters to each other, but we get different squeeze out of the game. Lost. Oh, exactly. Lost. We could also comment on things. So if we played the one-word game of the TV show being Lost, sounds like my sex life. You could then double up into that with a personal a personal confession as a way to pivot around where we are metaphysically and make it seem more real to the audience, because you're more fluid with where your thoughts go. 100% love Lost. Lost, Survivor. Ooh, I like this idea of Lost, Survivor, Saved. That's the sequence of my vacation. I bet you there is a structure where we do a bunch of one-word TV shows and it makes a story. Once upon a time there was a good TV show, but more slick. It would take more clever writing to get it to work together, but I know that there's one. Love that, Dan. I know that there is one out there like that. 100%. 100%. Okay, the one thing we're missing right now is a way to lost that job with NFL. Shouldn't take a photo of Eli Manning bending over. If you're going to do a callback of your thing about taking the unsolicited photos, lost. That job with the NFL shouldn't. So we have this ongoing through thread of you personally keep thinking about that NFL job, and everything in your comedy world falls back to that in some way. That could be a great through thread that we have in our set. 100%. 100%. The only thing we're missing right now with the one-word TV shows is some sort of physical heightening, some sort of actionable, like Lost, Survivor, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Like, it could be that we're presenting the one-word name, and then if we wanted to play with that physicality, well, then we have a big one, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Then I can play with that physical bit by having a long name for a TV show. Is that the best way to pay it off? No, but that is an angle that a lot of times people don't think about, is making sure we have actionable heightening. Lost. Boom. Boom. It could even be as simple as I'm thinking about it, and then I say it. Boom, boom, boom. This one, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one, this one. Boom. It could be, hey, that I'm firing shots with how many one-word TV shows there are, and I couldn't think of one. Boom, I got it. Or like, I gotta reload. This one, that one, this one, that one, this one, that one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Suits, scrubs, medicine. Doctor, suit, scrub, medicine, doctor, etc., etc. Just as ways to add physical bits to all of this. I have a strict rule about what I watch. I'll do one-word TV shows, Lost. I'll even do 2, Breaking Bad. Even 3, Emily in Paris. But 4 is where I draw the line. Not after 2 girls, 1 cup. Great. Yeah, we could build further. 100%, we could build further. And what I like about that joke is it has an intrinsic logic. At first, my audience brain was like, okay, well, why these arbitrary rules? But the joke explained it in its own payoff with, like, the reason we won't go more than 4 is because of 2 girls, 1 cup. We've been burned before. That's a great other logical way to pay off with the idea of one-word TV shows. I stick to one-word TV shows, and then we can sort of define a logical why, because longer TV shows like 2 Girls, 1 Cup have been too salacious, too terrible for me in the past. So I will stick to that, and then we can play that act out like 2 Girls, 1 Cup. I'll give it a shot. Oh no! I should have stuck with Lost and Survivor and Scrubs. My eyes need to be scrubbed. I wish I were Lost. I am now a Survivor. And then we can even call those things back in our act out if we want to reuse things. 100%. Okay, great. We've played with one-word TV shows. Now we have the premise of a nerd defending nerddom. And we have the very clever logical pun thrown in from Twatson of nerddom. So if we wanted to play with the audience about like, man, nerds will defend their nerddom. Nerd, dumb. Nerd, dumb, dumb nerd. Jock, oh, you're cool, smart, dumb, a nerd. As a way to play with the audience with this bit, we can make it personal, like nerddom. Describing my high school experience. Only a nerd that was dumb would make that joke. Oh, hey, as far as commenting on the me, real, here and now. Or we can do the logical about like nerd defending nerddom about like, well, actually everyone uses computers, so that is not that I don't know if you could say that's a nerd thing. And Lord of the Rings is becoming more pop culture as well as Magic the Gathering. Very popular streamers are doing stuff like that. So really the nerd stuff these days are blah blah blah. We could attack it logically, or we could do it full in an act out of well actually we put it into a character on top. Nerd about books, dumb with women. Ooh. Or we could draw a line in the sand about like we could be using nerd as a synonym for smart, and we could be attacking 100%, and we could bifurcate it so that like nerd about X, dumb about this. So the nerd dumb is it then like it's then using nerd dumb as a critical hinge point of the joke. I don't hate it. So we have the idea of nerd dumb that we've played out, and if we wanted physical actioning, we had a little bit of physical actioning with like boop, 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 boop. Nerd, dumb, nerd, dumb, nerd, dumb. We can make it simple, justifying one versus the other. It could be like actually, oh, you think that's nerdy? Actually, oh, you think that's nerdy? Actually, we could be building one big nerd gesture that we could heighten. Oh, what? I'm nerd dumb. I was trying to push my glasses up and I pushed my eye. As a way that the physical life of this joke could also help the logical. Are we going to use all of these elements that we build out as we are trying to explore the premise? No. But it is useful to attack these angles, because if they really like the logical angle of the joke, well, then you can dig into the audience play. The fanciest of jobs, gold bullion, cleaner, caviar butler. If the audience is really laughing, Monica Lewinsky. You wish you had that job, right? Oh, fanciest job I had. Polishing gold toilets. Then I can pivot and stay in the joke and hit it multiple ways. So if the audience is enjoying the meal, I'm not taking the meal away from them. So nerd or dumb could also be an interactive game with the audience. Okay, guys, is this joke nerdy or dumb? The opposite of cargo shorts is truck stop longs. Okay, Twatson, you just want to get your truck stop longs in this stream, especially. Okay. But yeah, 100%, we could then make it an interactive game where the audience gets to play and gets to label nerd or dumb. And then we built ourselves a bigger through thread for the rest of the set. 100%. Oh, I like that as an angle of attack. Yes. Okay, we got a few more premises to attack today with regards to too excited about weddings. So we have this idea about too excited about weddings. You know, you can get too excited for weddings. Here comes the groom, stealing the spotlight in the room. I can make it a personal like that. Too excited for weddings. Someone got too excited. Oh, your eyes lit up. Hey, that's your maid of honor right there. Hell yeah. You could comment into just introducing weddings, commenting on audience members that maybe react too bigly as a way to start the too excited about weddings. You can do an act out of who this character is. Like, you're going to a wedding? Oh my God, a wedding. Oh, the groom, the cake, the bride, the chairs, the venues, the love. You can start with real things. It could just be a list. Or Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson were overexcited about weddings. It could even be a logical just reference about there's a whole movie about it. It's called Wedding Crashers. Yes, Wedding Crashers. for all the people that remember 2003, I can't remember. She needs a monocle because she lost an eye from Bubba's one-eyed snake. Okay. Twatson, don't make me take it off don't ruin the best joke of the night, which you also implemented. Love spending lots of money to go. Oh, if we wanted to, if we wanted to keep I love weddings as far as like, well, watch. I get too excited for weddings. We could keep it logical. I love the love, the venues, the beautiful dresses, and then we could pivot into the personal. The having to spend lots of money to go. I can use that as like a crack in the formula of, hey, I'm presenting logical ideas of good things about wedding. Now I've pivoted away and I punched the joke, so you not only is it disparate because it's suddenly a bad thing about a wedding, but it's also suddenly, instead of me being a performer, I'm giving you my true opinions. It's a great way to use that structure. Yeah. I like weddings because I like having my girlfriend's dad pay for stuff. Hell yeah. As far as ways that we can maybe make it personal as well. Yep. Okay, we are maybe missing right now some sort of actionable heightening, some sort of way that we can make this bigger with physicality. If we want to start with an act out, like, oh, it could be excitement, like, oh, cakes, oh, dresses, venues, a bunch of chairs and an arch. Might as well be the McDonald's arch. They don't care as long as there's two people standing there. Yay! Love! That's a little clownish, but I might be able to keep some of that energy when I just show shaking ass on the dance floor. Yes. Wedding. She's getting married next. Yeah. We could maybe bleed that physicality and start a joke from the bottom. Let's speak about twerking, starting the joke from the bottom up. Using vacation time to go to someone else's destination. Okay, Alexis is not too excited about weddings. Bridezillas. Oh, first of all, hey, sister, or sister soul speaks. Hey, welcome to the stream. Yeah, if we're going, we could make this excited about weddings, but in a sarcastic way, like, oh, weddings. I'm so excited about weddings. Paying a lot to go, taking off vacation time, bridezilla. Oh, weddings, so beautiful, so exciting. We could keep this in a sarcastic pivot, or we can make the act out, filter it through a character that is not actually excited for weddings. It's like, oh yeah, I'm so excited for weddings. Oh, you're getting married? I'm so happy to fly to a destination, wear an uncomfortable suit, deal with your bridezilla mother-in-law. Oh, weddings, yeah, yay. And then we have a different physical heightening if we want, and a whole different angle on this bit. 100% that's an angle that we can go, and especially if that's your true feelings, you could even then comment, like, you can tell I've been to too many weddings. If you want to then pivot out and go personal with a heightening to the joke from there. Yep. Okay. We're working through these premises. So now, since we're already on weddings, there's the Olympics of weddings. So we have the bouquet toss. What other events might be at a wedding? We can talk about logically what they would be. Gold medal and shaking ass. There's the wrestling for the bouquet. 100%. There are. We can just do a straight up list of all the things in a wedding that we might want. Yep. That is a logical way to heighten it. Do. And we can probably come up with more of those as far as like the best man speech, the best speech. There could be either reshaking things with regards to best surprise, and the gold medal in surprise face, or best fake crier. Oh, it's so beautiful. I hate her. I really do. So amazing. Greatest gift. Well, I bought them a yacht, so I don't know. We just keep attacking it logically. We could go with an act out of who the people in this. Yeah, no big deal. I'm just a gold medal wedding Olympian. I've caught 42 bouquets. Yeah, I give them the old elbow, the old triple axel. Ooh, and then boom. And then we could label the moves of the specific event, and we could do it through a competitor if we want to do an act out. To an audience, the Olympics of a wedding. I bet you win gold on the dance floor as far as commenting on the audience, or personal. Like, man, I always get a bronze medal in leaving too late. Oh, it's 3 a.m. and I'm drunk as fuck. Oh, well, I still got out faster than the father-in-law. Hell yeah. Olympic gold medalist of fastest divorce after a wedding. Yeah, 100%. Since we are in the world of weddings, that also opens us up to other marriage things. 100%, Jerry, with the idea of Olympic gold medalist of fastest divorce after marriage. Yeah. Garter retrieval, men's division. And then, of course, garter retrieval, women's division. Yeah. All those things, all those added specifics, I do think make it wonderfully more Olympic as far as men's division, junior or varsity. There's things we can put in. The 400K, whether it is a team sport, exactly like relay, we could add at any moment to add more specifics to any of these Olympic things. The marathon sprints, getting dressed, arriving on time, getting all those photos. Oh, sisters, yeah, that would be like a decathlon, right? Like, the decathlon, getting dressed, arriving on time, doing the photos, pumping up the bride, boom, 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 100% gold medal in most cocktails. Yeah, the most competitive event is I like and one of the event that has the stiffest competition, most cocktails consumed. I'm a contender in that one. Oh, I hold my own, 100%. Now, one thing we are missing here that we might want to think about is what this whether it is like an Olympic celebration, whether it is actually an Olympic sport like getting dressed, putting on my sash, and whether I'm doing like shot put, getting dressed. We could do Olympic motions and at any point put them into the physicality for actionable heightening for this bit if we wanted. Shotgun relay, but you're shotgunning beers. Okay, everyone seems to think the Olympics of wedding is all about drinking afterwards. Is that all you people do at weddings? Hey, all you guys just drink. Is that what weddings are to you? It's about the beauty of love. It's about commitment. It's about a relationship that'll never end. It's about something that I don't have. I started with an ideological list, but I was also playing with you guys with sort of building the dynamic, and then I made it personal, the confession, and if I really was not breaking the fourth wall to comment on what I just did comedy, I would do an act out like, one day these people understand, so lucky that they get to go to all these cool weddings, and Mo Williams stuck in here behind a computer doing a stream. Okay, as far as like I could then act out myself in a more character version of myself to pay off the idea of William interacting with you guys, only talking about the drinking part of wedding. But you see how I can bounce around these things and get more juice out of the squeeze? Hopefully we find that physical heightening, whatever it is. I think doing decathlon moves about like, and here comes the bouquet, or like running away from the mother-in-law, jump, ooh, she made it. Because we have such big, Olympics are known for the physical elements of the Olympics. To mention the Olympics and not get some visible Olympics into the bit would almost be a crime. So even if it's like the drunk steps I'm taking away from the dance floor, even if you're like doing a triple jump but you're falling because you're drunk, I feel like that's very easy way to get physicality into this. 100%. And the final premise that we want to play with is, of course, we have things theater kids don't like. Narrating the wedding sports announcer style, coming in at 120 pounds, holding the world record for most toxic relationships, darting from across the room, she shoots, she scores, 100%. If we wanted a very actionable act out for the Olympics as far as who would be there and what would they be saying, I think sports commentator is a classic thing that a lot of people know that has so many ways that we can reinvigorate the joke with regards to statistics, what these people's nicknames are, what they've done in the past, what the events look like, with the commentator themselves. They used to be a champion. You have so many. It's such a big world of sports commentating that to open that up inside of wedding is a very cool union, but a great way to pay off that joke, Sahar. 100%. Okay. Then our final bit that we have is where is it? Things theater kids do not like. Speaking of Olympics, sports, we like the gymnastics dance routine. That's what we like. We theater, me, da 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 theater kid. So I've already found the physical heightening. We have dance and so like Broadway dancing. Very easy to add that into. I'm getting more emotional in talking about theater kids. Now I am showing you theater. There's a whole lexicon of dance and choreography that I can use for this bit. So, boom, found the actionable heightening wherever I want. Things theater kids don't like. We don't like sports. We don't like jocks. We don't like working out if it's not dancing a lot. And then we could even turn it into singing. Don't know if you could tell. I don't know if you could tell that I'm a theater kid. As far as ways to use the actionable heightening, while I am also doing a personal confession, we could play with the audience as far as like theater kids. 5 minutes till the next joke. Thank you, 5. Found them, theater kid. Or we could label the audience, you were in Greece. Wash your face. You were in Little Shop, because I bet you own a little shop. That cheap suit. We could do the classic Jets versus Sharks dance as well. Band kids. Oh, it is funny that it's like theater kids don't like band kids. You think that they both like music, they're both nerds, they both hang out in groups, but no, we're fighting like no, this is the drum line. You could have it be a huge big act out with regards to theater kids versus band kids. Now I do want to say we are pivoting the premise. This is a great premise, but it is a cousin to this premise, as in like theater kids v band kids specifically, is a different premise, which we can pay off. Theater kids don't like this, theater kids don't like that, theater kids don't like that, and especially theater kids don't like band kids. And then once we've paid off this premise, then we use the final rung of it to pivot into this premise, which is not the same exact premise. It's a cousin to it. When I'm helping people write jokes a lot of the time, they will start with one premise. They'll pay it off a little bit, but they'll be sort of pivoting mid-premise and using it as a stepping stone setup into another premise, and the audience will see them do that negotiation instead of fully paying off premise 1 and then going into payoff 2. But I love theater kids versus band kids, because then we not only get theater kids physicality, but we get band kid physicality to do a big act out. Now, because these are more performative ideas, I do think an act out would probably be the best manifestation for both of these ideas. But we can do a lot things theater kids don't like. Theater kids don't like not being around each other. Yeah. Theater kids don't like this, don't like not being around each other, don't like not talking, don't like not this, don't like not that. We could do a logical joke where it's all the things that theater kids don't like, and it's not things, so it's this double negative game as a logical structure to pay off in a clever way. They don't like not getting attention, not being around each other, not singing all the time, not being in the actual theater. They don't like yeah. We could do so many of the act outs that we've talked about. So what we're missing now is an audience play and really a personal confession, which is easy for me because I am a theater kid. They don't like not getting beat up for being fucking nerds. 100%. If we want to give a, if we want to give a different angle to it, yeah. All of these are at play. Great. Theater kids hate dressing in private money. I do think that's a funny logic. I was trying to think of more funny logical one-liners. I do like the theater kids hate dressing in private. No, do it, and then we lean into it. So that's a fun logical truth for people that have a theater kid background. Where is it? Theater kid background that we could then pivot Sahar into an act out. Theater kids don't like dressing in private. No, we'll all get naked together. We're theater kids. Woo! Oh, yeah, of course I didn't wear underwear. I'm a theater kids. We pulled these premises from the pattern game. We've come up with 4 different ways to pay off all of these premises along the way. And now we just got one final thing, and that's third beats. Third beats. So third beats in improv are ways to connect all the ideas. We've started to do that. Third beats would be like things theater kids don't like. The being quiet at a wedding. I want to officiate. I want to do this. I want to be on the dance floor doing my dance. Do 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 do. Then we can bring the dance part of the things theater kids don't like into the Olympics of wedding or too excited for weddings bit. We can also do callbacks as far as like actually being a theater kid is not nerdy because even though music is sort of like math, it's extroverted. So that's dumb. That's nerd dumb. We could bridge those two ideas as far as getting callbacks and synthesizing all these things together. All of the physical things that we presented, like the one word thing. I could take the physical heightening of one bit and add it to another as yet additional ways. I'm just trying to use the same words too many times to take all of the ideas we've synthesized and create more comedy that the audience will know from it. You know, the family, Jules. Any of these bits we could turn into a song, and it could be the theater kids presenting. But light, what light through yonder window breaks? It's my family jewels, and it doth be like a bush and twig. I could do the Shakespeare version of family jewels as far as other ways to connect all these ideas. And the fanciest job, theater kid, just as a way to at the end of a set, whether it be improv or stand up. At the end of a piece, we've taught the audience a whole bunch of things. And they know we can press all these buttons. Ideally, we start to explore what happens when Rule 1 intersects with Rule 2. What happens when Rule 1 and 2 uses the physicality of Rule 4. And so all of the things they learn come together in a greater lesson so the audience can feel a cathartic, hey. This piece feels like a total piece together because of the clever connections, third beats we've done with it. So I open it up to you, people who might have been watching the whole time with regards to taking these premises that we pulled from the pattern game and thinking of connections between them, how we can connect the wedding stuff to being a nerd, or labeling any of these as a one-word TV show, or performing that TV show as a theater kid, or hey, I want to say something, but we know what I'm going to say, but we don't know what I'm going to say. Don't make me say it, but I'm going to speak around it, or labeling something as a fancy job. Let me know if anyone has any third beats before I summarize this lesson of the day. Theater kids don't have fancy jobs. They do comedy in New York. Oh, zing, self-zing. Yeah, that's a fun way to play it in a personal like, hey, theater kids don't have fancy jobs. They do comedy in New York. Da-dee-dee-dee, boop. Da-dee-doo-doo-doo, ba-ba. 100%, Rafa. Honestly, because of how good it was of a zing to me, I think that might make best joke of the night. Theater kids don't have fancy jobs. Fancy jobs. They do comedy in NYC. Boom, boom. William roasted. Oh, yeah. It's basically all of Hamilton. Weddings, fancy job. Theater kids, Olympic feats, one-word shows. Hamilton, 100%. As far as a way that we can synthesize all of this together, I do think that's a great third beat with regards to the premises that we've been presented. Where are the premises? Yeah. We've got jewels, fancy jobs. There's hip hop nerds with history nerds. There's multiple weddings and theater kids, and that show is called Hamilton. That would be such a killer culmination of all of this together. Yes. Connecting all of this is too fancy of a job to me. Yes, Jerry. I mean, honestly, Sahar, I want to give you joke of the night for that culmination, but the problem is someone would have watched the whole stream to get it. But so it's not like punchy and self-contained, but all of the premises combined equals Hamilton. Yeah. Not Sarah. No. Ugh. Sorry, my apologies. Same letters, different permutation. Yeah. Honestly, as far as like a punchy way to get all 7 things culminated to get together, if this was a game of connection, Hamilton is the solution. Like, oh my God, yes, brilliant. Okay. Hey. So hopefully, for those watching on YouTube after the fact, as a wrap up, hopefully you've learned a way to take raw ideas through the pattern game, build them out by free associating, coming up with a list of premises, taking those premises and heightening them in one of, a few directions, and then after that, finding very cool third beats to connect them all so that by yourself at home while you're writing, trying to build out worlds, write stand up, or get better at improv, you can take any idea on your own and just practice these skills. One of the reasons I'm able to help people with comedy so much and so fast isn't because I'm special. Not at all. It's because I've spent 26 years doing the pattern game. So I know how to free associate real fast. I know how to add suits, personality under it, so I have more hooks to attack from it instead of just a logical suits, clothes, lawyers, ties. So that I don't have to negotiate comedy. I can make a bunch of deals really fast. If you are still watching this after the fact on YouTube on the edit, hey, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel. Whether you're watching right now on the live stream, give us a like, comment, subscribe, follow wherever you are, and join us on the live streams. There's so much fun. We got so many great comedians contributing and helping each other on their comedy journeys. So thank you guys so much. More videos will be showing up right now. Appreciate you guys.